Okay, let me turn this down. Alright, I'm not exactly sure why that happened. Uh, but, this is not exactly a professional webcast. And now, if I can get the audio down. Uh, Apparently, the sheriff is a troll who, for whatever reason, has decided to come over to this channel. I guess he has a burr up his ass about money. But that's not the subject of tonight's live stream. What I'm trying to do is to cover the um, results of the election. Now, right now, as it stands, we have Biden leading by 122 electoral votes. Trump has 94 electoral votes. We are uh, basically 10 minutes after the bulk of the states have shut down. Levi, right now, Trump is ahead in Florida. It's a toss-up. Let's see. Florida right now, let's see. Donald Trump is ahead 51.2%. Biden is at 47.9%. It's basically the same story with Florida we've had all along, is that they're a toss-up. Uh, Now, if either one of these guys win, it's going to be by a point, maybe two. Um, no, Levi, what that is, Sheriff is a guy, he started following me a while back. He seems to have his burr up his ass over money for whatever reason, and he seems to think that if he comes in here and raises enough stink, I don't know what that's going to cause. I mean, these people are desperate. Right now, I got, 7 people in here watching the live stream, so I'm not sure what his motivation is other than just to be an idiot. Um, but it looks like Florida's going to do the same thing it's already always done and may swing over to a Republican nominee. That's the story of Florida. Although Biden did pick up St. Petersburg, Pinellas County, which was kind of a surprise. He's picked up Orange, Osceola, and Seminole County. Um, let's see. Hillsborough County, he's coming in. Um, well, why are we... All right. Biden got 52.8% of Hillsborough County compared to 46.1% of Trump. That's Tampa. You move over to Pinellas County. Biden got it 49.6% to Trump's 49%. Now, let's see. Move up. Orange County, where I live, Biden picked it up 61% to Trump's 38%. So he did pick up excuse me, get my train of thought, to 38%. So he did well. Yeah, Levi, I did hear that Monty is going to sue a civil lawsuit 2% for Biden compared to 34% for Trump, which is a bit of surprise because this is smack in the middle of the Republican Party, and that's Leon County and Gadsden County, and both have gone for Biden. Jacksonville's gone for Biden, and Duval County at 51% to 47.5%. Palm Beach County is at 56% to 43%. Jumped down to Broward County, which is the home of a very well-known Florida attorney. Biden is ahead by 64 to 34. Down to Miami-Dade, Biden is ahead 53 to 45. Now, The right now we are at 90% in the major counties. Orange County is at 90%. It's looking like the entire state's at 90%. So there's always a chance of the points swinging back and forth a little bit in Florida, but it's the outlet I'm using for my statistics is not calling for Florida right now. Florida's too close to call, and in the electoral college at the moment is holding at 122 for Biden with 94 for Trump. Maine is too close to call, leaning Republican. New Hampshire, toss-up, leaning Democrat. New York State, Biden has won New York State with with 71% margin with 29 electoral votes. Pennsylvania is a toss-up. Hasn't been called yet, not really a toss-up. He's leading the state by 61%. So it looks like he may pick it up. Well, Christina, nobody's actually called anything yet. These are estimates. We're only at 9:15. All the polls on the West Coast haven't closed yet. But the states that have closed, I'm using a totally different source. I'm not using CNN or the mainstream media. I'm using a totally different source. Michigan right now is at 57% for Trump. 16% of the expected vote in. So we got a long ways to go with Michigan. Wisconsin is 58% for Trump with 1% of the vote in. So we got a ways to go with that yet. Minnesota is at 61% towards Trump with 1% of the vote. Illinois has gone for Biden. Indiana's gone for Trump. Kentucky's gone for Trump. West Virginia's gone to Trump. Tennessee to Trump. Alabama to Trump. Mississippi to Trump. Louisiana to Trump. Arkansas to Trump. Oklahoma to Trump. Nebraska to Trump. North and South Dakota to Trump. And Wyoming to Trump. Looks like New Mexico's going to go to Biden, although I don't understand. They haven't had anything there yet. Texas right now, he's leading 50 to 48.7%. Well, all right, we got rid of a troll. I'm not really going to, I'm not going to predict one way or another who's going to win. I'm just reporting what I'm seeing on the board here. And everybody can discuss. I know there's people that want Trump to win. There's people that want Biden to win. And it's this country's equally divided, and it's showing up to some degree. Now on the Senate side, the Democrats have got 42 so far, with the Republicans 38. The House is too early to call. And we're still holding a 122 to 94 on the Electoral College. Hi there. Welcome to this very small chat tonight. I guess everybody's watching the mainstream media, or maybe they're over visiting Agent 19 or Monty or everybody else. So I'm just kind of holding my own here a little bit. But I'm watching to see Mitch McConnell, I guessed, won his re-election bid, and it looks like some of the Democrats have won theirs, and so for right now we're just kind of holding steady on things. So we're just kind of I'm going to have to refresh here to see if anything picks up because we're still holding at, see, New York State, 11% of their votes are in. North Dakota's got 15%, 5% in South Dakota, or North Dakota's got 15% of the votes are in. South Dakota's got 5%. Nebraska's got 19.2%. Wyoming has no results yet. Oklahoma is at 55%, so that's definitely going to go to Trump. Arkansas's got 32%, so that's, you know, now Georgia right now, they got 37% of the expected vote in, and there's a 56 to 42% margin, you know, with Trump getting 56%, Biden getting 42. So it looks like it's too early to call Georgia. Florida's hanging in there with 91% going, with 51% going to Trump. So it's a good possibility that Trump is going to pick up Florida, but he's going to lose Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania right now has 13% of the vote in, with 63.7% going to Biden. And well, I'm going by a different source. Right now, Politico, it's they've got the polls I'm using. Have got it at not too close to call. Now he has won New York State with 29%, so that was expected. And it looks like he might pick up Wisconsin at 10%, or 10 electoral votes. So that's a takeaway there. Michigan right now looks like it's going to go towards Trump, even though it's 17%. It could go up. And Maine right now is at 6.1% with Trump in the lead up there by 8%. That's something of a surprise. So that's where we're switching right now. That's where things are standing. And, you know, I'm not sure how, because the source I'm using, I want to see if anything else picked up. Because it's mainly the eastern states with some. Alright, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not understanding the good doctor. But anyway, so things, you know, right now, I had thought that possibly things would have moved a little faster with these various states as they start to close, because California, not sure what time they close. It's 22 minutes after 9. I would have thought that some of these states would have start coming in, because you got the bulk of these states closing at 9 o'clock. But right now everything's stagnant. Let me do something here and see if anything changes. We're still holding. All the statistics are still holding. You know, we got 61% of the vote in the state of Texas. Biden is ahead by 1 point. Less than, he's, let's see, what is it? 6 million. It's 4,036,895 compared to 3,958,000. So that's fairly close in Texas right now. Projected to win Trump. Task force, you're not welcome in here, so you're leaving. Um, let's see. Hi, Joseph. Because of your fraudulent activities, task force is not allowed in here. Okay, Biden has just picked up. He's now up to 131 electoral votes to Trump is 94. Not sure what the latest is. Not sure what, this thing is a little confusing as to how many, where they're coming up with 131. It says he's leading by 37. Well, that could be, that's looks like it's about right. So anyway, according to the database here, it's 131 in favor of Biden compared to 94 compared to Trump. So we're just kind of crawling along here. We're still 51.3% to 47.8% in Florida with 91% in, so it looks like Trump is going to carry Florida. Biden has picked up North Carolina. Trump will probably pick up Nebraska. He might pick up Michigan, although there's only 18% there. Biden is ahead in Pennsylvania by a huge margin with 12% vote in. Wisconsin's going to Trump with 60%. Arizona has not come in yet. Iowa has not come in yet. And those apparently are the swing states that they're giving me. And let's see, we have okay, things are pretty stagnant right now. But New York is 15% of the vote is in. All the eastern states, Virginia is at 41%. Not understanding Virginia going to Biden with Trump ahead. There's something, but they expect him to pick that up. I don't understand Virginia. I think somebody messed up on that one. That may go to Trump. North Carolina. Biden is ahead in North Carolina. South Carolina, looks like Trump won that. Georgia, he's still ahead there. Trump is ahead in Georgia by 42 to 56 in favor of Trump. Florida's 51 to 47, so he's more likely going to carry Florida. Trump is carrying Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. So basically, so far it's looking at that. Now everybody must be off. Everybody must be watching everything on mainstream. My numbers are not going anywhere tonight, which is fine. This is going to be a recorded thing anyway. But let me check out. Let me see. Yeah, well, Levi, it's one of these things where right now the incoming count is relatively low. I think CNN had called it for Trump, but I wasn't sure. But they've got it marked blue on the map here. But right now, Biden has 40.4% at 802,000, and Trump has 57.8% at 1,149,000 and change, with 42% of the vote in the state of Virginia. So they got a long ways to go. So, that's what I'm. And, that's a solid blue. So they must expect a lot of votes to come out from somewhere. They got North Carolina as a blue toss-up with Biden in the lead at 50-48, with 82% of the vote in. So, this is going to be. What's going to be the key is, if you get California in with 55%, that'll bring. Let's see, that's 31. That's 6. That's 186 right there. And let's see, Washington with 12, Oregon with see, Oregon will probably, they're saying Oregon's going to go to Trump with 7, and let's see, Arizona, they're saying may go to Trump with 11. Utah might go to Biden with 6, and Idaho might go to Biden with 4. Iowa might go to Trump with 6. Yeah, well, I think what it's going to do is the final numbers need to come up, because 63 of Texas right now, and Biden is ahead by 0.5 of a point. Roughly. Okay, it's just turned to Trump. It's dead even at 49-49. There's 0.1 of a point difference between Biden and Trump in the state of Texas. So it just turned. Texas just turned. It has 64% of the expected total in right now. So Texas has turned into a battleground state. So we'll see where that goes. Trump has jumped up to 93 electoral, but that's as far as he's got. Biden's holding steady at 131. New York State is 75.8% for Biden with 16% of the total votes in, so that's a lockup. Pennsylvania, Biden is at 58.7% with 13% in, so we're going to have to see where that goes. Ohio is expected to go to Biden. He's 50.4% with 65% of the vote in. So there's a little less than 100,000 votes difference in Ohio, so there's a possibility that'd be a bit of an upset, because that's going to be one of the 3 Rust Belt states that Trump won that's going to go. So if he picks up Pennsylvania and Ohio, he's in pretty good shape. Minnesota, right now Trump is ahead in Minnesota, even though they have it as a blue toss-up. That's 24% over there. So Biden's got some room there. Task Force, why do you keep coming in here? You're not welcome. I've told you before to stay out of here. You got a hearing problem or a reading problem? I don't understand these people that are not welcome coming in here. I'm just going to boot them out. You got your own little YouTube channel. You can go over there and do your own live stream. You don't need to be in here. Jeez, what a moron. Anyway, getting back. So, according to this stupid thing, the numbers are holding. So we're still, we're more or less holding here. You know, this is one of these hurry up and wait things. The database I chose is basically just printing by numbers. Yeah, hi, just me. Things are basically stagnant. You probably get more information on the mainstream because all I'm doing is I'm going on a reporting system. They don't give the whys or wherefores. They just give the current statistics and some projections. And right now, everything's holding with Biden at 131 electoral, Trump at 93. Trump is ahead in Texas. Biden was ahead. They're virtually at a dead heat in Texas. Florida, looks like Trump is going to pull out and win Florida if nothing changes, because we're at 91% in Florida, and I don't see Biden picking up in Florida unless he picks up a lot of votes in the bigger counties, because you know, Trump is like he always does in Florida with the Republicans. He's picking up all these little counties. We got a whole bunch of counties down here that are Republicans and they're low population states, but they outnumber in numbers the big counties like the big three down in southeast Florida and Orlando and Tampa, St. Petersburg, which both went for Biden this time around. So, you know, this is, I suppose I could have made a better choice for what I was going to use to monitor this thing. Let's see. You know, I'm not understanding how Task Force is able to get in here. I keep kicking her out. She keeps coming back in again. I guess she doesn't take no for an answer. I should do what Dr. T did the other night and say, I do not consent. You know, I do not consent in these people being in here. Got a rather interesting anniversary coming up tomorrow. I'll talk about that in a mobile-thon. But see now, another database has Biden with 122 and Trump with 91, but that was, yeah, that's a new one. I don't know, these databases aren't agreeing with each other. You know, I'm just gonna have to, I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing, you know, you try and base things on these various databases, because my database that I've got here is holding 131 to 93. They're still at a dead heat in Texas with 64%. Florida's holding. It's like the numbers for some reason are not changing. California's doing nothing. None of the West Coast is doing anything. And I was... See, I'm gonna check somewhere else, because for some reason that... Okay. Alright, this one seems to be, we've got Biden at 122 and Trump at 92, so they've knocked 9 points, and they've subtracted 9. They've got Trump ahead by 0.2%. Yeah, Florida they agree on. Georgia they agree on. So, hi, Don. Welcome. California has not closed yet, or Oregon. Oh, okay. So Oregon closes at 11. California closes at 11. So we got a while yet. Washington closes at 11. Arizona's closed. We just haven't got any numbers yet. Utah closes at 10 o'clock Eastern. Idaho closes at 10 o'clock Eastern. And Montana closes at 10 o'clock. Yeah, so we're not going to get anything new. Oh, God. Damn it, Task Force. Why do you keep coming in here? You know, do you just have a problem with not honoring a request not to come in here? You're really, you're the, I'm going to report that account. I'm going to report it. So, Task Force, I'm going to be blunt. Go fuck yourself. Jeez. I don't get these trolls. Why they insist on coming in here? I'm just going to have to keep kicking her out. It's funny because they won't let me comment on theirs, and I'll hide her again. I don't understand how she's getting around my ban. She must be creating new email accounts or something. These people, they go where they're not welcome. It's really interesting. Go over and put cartoons on your Twitter account or something. That's all you're capable of doing. Nice. Oh, God, Lord. So this is not going anywhere fast. Okay, Senate. Okay. Alright, I don't know why. Trying to figure out. Well, let's go here. See what they have to say. I'll just stick with this database. It seems to be generally accurate. We've got 43 Democrats projected to win for the Senate, so they've got 8 more to go to win control of the Senate. The House are not doing much with that yet. Hmm. 59%. 59.4 million presidential votes counted so far. Votes closed at 9 o'clock in Arizona, Colorado, Louisiana, Minnesota, and Nebraska. And 10 o'clock, polls will close in 6 states, including Idaho, Iowa, Montana, Nevada, and Oregon. So we got 15 minutes to go before another batch of polls close. Okay, there's a 49.7 to 49.0 in Texas. That's the margin right now. With what is it, 60 some percent in the state of Texas. So that's going to be a nail biter. Why are we talking about Timothy all of a sudden? Two, 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 two. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I'm not going to control the chat other than keeping people out of here that are not entitled to be in here. Yeah, it's like clockwork that these morons show up. It's amazing. La-di-da-di-da-di and all that. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, the Democrats have retained the House. Okay, it looks like Graham and McConnell and Tom Cotton have won. QAnon goes to... This country's going to hell in a handbasket. That QAnon broad won her thing, which I expected. Florida, Georgia, Texas still too close to call. Well, I have a feeling that Florida's going to swing towards Trump. I could be wrong, but the only thing is I don't know what we've done. That is what I'm reading. Graham was projected to win earlier. Or I mean, yeah. So it looks like, you know, he's going to go back, but he may not be. He may not be the head of the Senate. That may go to Schumer, depending if the trend goes. Because the majority party, if the Republicans are not in the majority, he's out of a job. You know, he'll just be just a senator, along with Bob Graham. Hi, firemen. Welcome to the political night. You know, it's turned out not to be much of a drain. Hi, moderate. Well, you know, all I'm doing is just covering a major event. I'm not really the talk of politics really hasn't been that much. And you know, in another 10 minutes before anything happens, um, there's a couple of amendments I'm watching in Florida that I'm going to be curious if they pass. But you know, I haven't seen any. So, moderate, thanks for stopping in. Well, you know, stupid is, I guess. Omar won in Minnesota, so she gets another term. Because right now things are standing still. Oh, I know what I want to see. I want to see if there's any crybabying going on. Let's go down here to turd fart. Let me. Oh, there we go. Oh boy. Okay, nothing going on there. Wonder why I'm not finding that. Well, let's go over here. Yeah, that's what I figured. Nothing there. Huh. Now, all I'm doing is I'm just doing numbers. I'm not getting into too much debate because you know either A or B. Either one is going to win it or the other's going to win it, and then that's going to be the end of it. You know, it's just a happening thing. I've only got 12 people in here. Like it's going to make a big difference. Um, okay. Yeah. Just and then for those that showed up late, I had a technical problem. For some reason, the channel I had my headphone on had disappeared, and I had to reestablish it. So we had kind of an initial panic tonight. And of course, the troll had to make a big deal out of it, as if everybody's perfect. But that's the game. All right, we got 7 minutes before another batch. All right, this isn't what I wanted. Okay, well, let's see. 131 to 193. So we haven't changed yet. Okay, all the numbers are holding. We got 67% with Trump ahead, so his lead is widening in Texas. Florida, we're at 4 points, so he's widening it. Trump is widening his lead in Florida, and he's at 6%. In Georgia, with 52% of the votes counted so far. And New Mexico is going to Biden, and Colorado is going to Biden. Illinois is going to Biden so far. So, in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to see what opens up out in the West. Well, I hope they don't either. I mean, yeah, if the guy that I didn't vote for wins, then I just say, oh well, it wouldn't be the first time. I didn't vote for Trump the first time, and I'm not, if he wins, he wins. So we'll see how it goes. I don't think it's likely, but there's a possibility he may pull it off and win this thing. We'll know by morning. We'll have a clear indication as to who won this thing. But, I'm going to hold out until 12 o'clock midnight tonight. Or if somebody wins the presidency before midnight, then I'll close down. But, otherwise I'm going to stay on until probably 12:30 or so. I got a tight schedule tomorrow, so I can't stay up too late. Well, yeah, I would project that he's going to get arrested too. That is, if he is still alive. I have doubts that he's alive. There's been nothing come my way to prove to be what would be known as a proof of life. So, I'm not looking for anything anytime soon that proves he's alive. If he gets arrested, that's a proof of life. That's the only proof of life. But, Okay, we are at 2 minutes before the next batch of polls. If the polls are open, and you haven't voted, I'd get your ass out there and vote. Vote for who you want to vote for. There's other things besides the president on the California ballot. Don't make up your mind if you're going to vote or not just on who's gonna, who's on the ballot. You got state issues you got to vote on. I'll be right back. I gotta take a visit elsewhere. See you in a minute. Let's just say 10-100. If you know anything about trucker talk, you'll know what that was. That's, you know, end result of this. So, try to keep it a little bit discreet. Alright, we're T-minus 1 minute and counting until another batch of states close. Yeah, you got an hour now, so, get your butt out there, go and vote. I don't know if it's too late to register in your state. But if you get in line, you can vote even if the polls close. As long as you're in line, you can vote. That's the law in all 50 states and in territories. Because technically we have 51 districts since Washington votes. Washington, D.C., that is. If anything, you can go take pictures. God damn, had a hanging hair there. Yeah, because I don't know how far you are from your closest polling place, but like I said, there's local official stuff out on. There's issues in the state of California that's on the ballot, so I would definitely go vote. Our founders and soldiers have. Oh, jeez. Well, let's see. Biden picked up a few electoral votes right now. Or not Biden, Trump, I mean. Trump is up to 99 electoral votes. Biden is stationary at 131. Nothing has changed in Florida. Nothing has changed in Texas. We're looking at Trump has won North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and South Carolina. So that's where we stand so far. Well, I don't like it either. I don't like politics either. It's just what this is. This is kind of like reporting on statistics in a game of some kind, because that's where we're at here. We're just, just for the hell. It gave me something to do just for the hell of it. I could have been in watching TV. See, the Senate hasn't changed. Curious to find out. What I want to find out is some Florida amendments. We got some amendments. Like I said, this is why if you haven't voted yet, you should go vote in California, because there might be what passed. Okay, first Amendment 1 passed. This is a citizenship requirement to vote in Florida elections. You must be a citizen. And you must be 18 years of age, a permanent resident of Florida, registered to vote. So, I'm not sure how that changes anything, but that passed 79. Okay. We have Amendment 2, so we will be raising our Florida minimum age rate. Blah. Excuse me. Okay. Florida minimum wage will go to $10 an hour effective September 30th, 2021. Each September 30th thereafter, the minimum wage will increase by $1 per hour until the minimum wage reaches $15 an hour on September 30th, 2026. From that point, future minimum wage increases shall revert to being adjusted annually for inflation starting September 30th, 2027. Yeah, that's quite correct, fireman. If something happened, I would. Okay, 61% of Floridians voted in favor of raising the minimum wage. Uh, Florida Amendment 3 is that we now will become a open primary state, which means that you can vote in each other's primaries, 57 to 43%. That's something interesting because Florida up until this year was a closed primary state. Florida Amendment 4. That one failed. That would have required 2 votes per amendment. Limitation on homestead exemption. That's a tax that passed. Discount for spouses of deceased veterans. That passed 90%. That's one of the biggest margins. So that's the more important thing here are the state amendments. So they all passed. So that's good. But that means that the Florida minimum wage is now going to go up $1 an hour every year effective September 30th of next year. So okay, they said that 1 seat has been flipped in the Senate to the Democrats. They need to gain 4 to get a majority, which I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that. Okay, now we should start getting some. Utah President Trump is ahead. Wyoming President Trump is going to win. Arizona Biden is ahead by 8 points with 65% of the vote in. So it looks like Biden might pick up Arizona. Now let's see Senate. What I want to see. Okay, it looks like Kelly is going to win in Arizona. So that's probably the one that gave the flip to the Senate for the Democrats. Democrat has won in New Mexico. Democrat has won in Colorado. That's a re-election apparently. Oh, 1 Republican has lost in the Senate. Minnesota, the Senate. Mr. Kelly. So. But it looks like we're not going to hit the magic number until at least 11 o'clock. Because we've got Montana. Biden is ahead by a big margin. He's ahead by 57% to 40. Utah has Trump ahead by 3 cents. Well, it just jumped again. 50.6 to 46%. So that's 4.6% in Utah. Idaho's a big fat 0 because So the states we've got left is Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Nevada, Alaska, and Hawaii. So those are the states that are left. And that would be funny if somebody put me as a write-in. That would be a trip. Yeah, there's a thing every year where somebody does something. Oh, $369,000 for a yacht. Somebody ought to tell Tim about that one. So now I'm getting advertisements from the dealer because I called him. Wants to sell me a yacht for $369,000. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe or something. That is funny. That's interesting about this map. It changed right before my very eyes. I wasn't sure if that was going to change or not. So it is changing. Because it's interesting to watch it go from straight to solid, or go from blue to red and then back to blue again. Okay, thanks, fireman. Yeah, I can't have CNN in here because of copyright. Um, but they do a pretty good job of breaking everything down. I just don't have the resources to put anything in here more interactive than what I've got. Um, it's basically I just got a map up with red, blue, and gray, with pinstripes going through some of the states that are toss-ups, or basically, yeah, they're toss-ups. So, but I thought there'd be more of a change when this batch closed down at 10 o'clock, but there's nothing going on. Um, yeah, it's updating again, and because it updated 12 after, and I got this little yellow update thing that keeps coming up. Um, so that's it's like it is interesting how partisan people remain, because I thought there would be some changes, but apparently there weren't. Um, people are going to stick behind their senator regardless of what their record is, good or bad. It is what it is. Um, it's going to be good to finally have this crap over with. Sitting there beating each other over the head for the last year and a half over this election. Um, Certainly going to clean up my email. I kept getting you would not believe the volume of emails I've been getting that are political. It's crazy. Hopefully this is going to get a lot of that down. See, we're still getting political emails, but not as much. So that much is done. And this little thing I decided to do tonight did absolutely nothing for my subscriber numbers. See, where am I now? Nope, 949 is my current subscriber listing, so that has not changed. Um, so so there really isn't much going on. I'll bring this one back up. So I gotta kill 45 minutes until the next batch of voting or the next results come through, because right now it's staying right at 131 to 99. So that's, yeah, we got to pick up 140, 139 electoral votes before this thing ends, and that means they got to wait for all these West Coast states to come in. Actually, what I could do is, if I could get this thing set up properly, I could play all Dodger videos. Yeah, he's good at the Timmy jokes. But it's like I said, I really, I'm not interested in discussing that clown anymore. He's irrelevant. More than likely he's dead. And I'd be like, I'd be surprised if he's alive. He's barely dead. Because you haven't heard anything out of the guy in months. I mean, that thing with the boat, that happened in March. So that's not. And him and his handler, they've got a burr up their ass over Craig Sawyer, because the latest thing on the first was about Craig Sawyer. So they're going after him now, which is fine with me. I don't care. I'm not affiliated with Craig Sawyer. I don't know why they think I am, except for they got to make this stuff up out of thin air. So what are you gonna do? But yeah, he died, as far as I'm concerned. Foul play suspected. So, but my problem is these people don't like criticism and stuff, and rather than get another strike, I just soon not talk about him anymore. Because he got his pee-pees hurt because I talked about him, so they put a strike on my channel. And it's not worth a strike on the channel to talk about some immature little twerp that can't tell the truth. So, his days are numbered one way or another. So, I guess I gotta. Did that woman ever get her dog out of the briefcase, her suitcase? La la la. By the looks of Twitter, they're already making excuses in the event that things don't go their way, which I figured they're going to have to come up with an excuse. Because if Trump loses, then QAnon's basically going to have to change everything. So that's something that's going to be. Well, they're trying to get engagements. That's why they come in here, is they try to get engagements on my channel And it really, ugh, I got to get a more comfortable chair. Uh, this is a good chair, but it's not meant to be sat in for hours at a time. Yeah, I had a cushion somewhere for this thing. I may have to put it down there. Yeah. Yeah, I've been following that Austin thing a little bit. Really not something that I'll probably be talking about anytime soon, but I'm just kind of following that tale. Um, but these all of these people are strange, and it's going to be curious what happens over the next few days um, with these people because it's getting. See what? Oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, it is. Cool. Okay, see if anything. Val Demings won in Orlando. That's yeah. Oh God, that idiot won. Oh well. Shit. Boy, that's funny. Colorado elected somebody whose name is hard to pronounce. Some of these is Hicken the Hooper Duper oh, Super Duper. Yeah, sorry about the silent air tonight. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on. Um, Nothing is changing on this board. Uh, it's sitting. None of the numbers are budging. Um, so for whatever reason, this thing just is not changing. I don't get it. Because 70%, this has not changed. Florida has not changed, even though I think somebody's calling Florida. Georgia has not changed. Yeah, I gotta find a different database. This thing is not working. Let's see. Okay, let's see what's going on. Cause this. Okay, maybe I'll get something out of here. Okay, Trump wins Indiana, wins Kentucky. Biden wins Massachusetts. Trump will win Alabama, Arizona, Indiana, Kentucky, Oklahoma, Tennessee, South Carolina, South Dakota, West Virginia, and North Dakota. Biden wins 61% of Iowa with 16% of the votes. Why are we getting... Okay, so 89 to 72. I don't know what that number is because Biden's going to win Pennsylvania. Wow. Or wait a minute. No, he's got Trump winning Pennsylvania. Okay. Trump wins Oklahoma. Trump wins South Carolina. Trump wins South Dakota. Looks like Trump is ahead in Wisconsin. $89 to 72. I don't get that. Well, if it happens, it happens. None of some of these networks aren't agreeing with each other. They're using different standards to come up because they've got and they got Biden winning Arizona. This is confusing. But, that's... In a lot of these cases, it's just too early to call. I'm just going to be curious to see what happens at 11 o'clock when California and all the states on the West Coast come in. Because I'm watching CBS right now, and they are... Because they got 51 Florida, Georgia, Trump is at 56%. Iowa, Biden is ahead in Iowa with 19% in. Well, that's not telling. That's weird. Oops. Sorry. But I go back to this particular database that I started using tonight, and all of a sudden we're not. They've got Biden, at Political, they've got Biden at 190 or 131 over 99. So I don't understand the low numbers with CBS unless they're being more conservative in their numbers. Well, I'm thinking it's going to be over at 11:30. If the trend goes the way I think it's going to go, I think this is going to, it's going to be done with by 11:30 Eastern, unless there's challenges in court or any of that stuff, but it's moving along at a, because it's the big states is what's going to be coming in here pretty quick. But yeah, he got Ohio back, and he got Pennsylvania back. Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But we got Minnesota out. Let's see, what are we gonna? Okay, Biden's ahead in Minnesota, which is a surprise, and he's ahead in Iowa, and he's ahead in Illinois, and they called Illinois. So, whew, interesting. Okay, well, okay, we're at a dead heat in North Carolina, so Biden lost his lead in North Carolina. 8 percentage points, or 0.8 of 1%. So, looks like the Carolinas are both going to go to Trump. Okay, Trump jumped up to 109, so he's closing in on Biden with 131. Biden's held steady at 131. So that's that change. So so we are basically at one of these sticking points right now, because we still got they have not called Maine yet. Maine has, see, one of the things that's going on here is a lot of these states are at low numbers. Now Maine, okay, because let's see, Maine, okay, for whatever reason. Okay, Texas got 71%. Maine has got 26% point reporting. Pennsylvania's got 35%. Michigan is at 38%. It looks like they're definitely going to go for Trump. 46% in Wisconsin. That's going to go to Trump. 41% going to Biden. He's clearly won Minnesota. And he's clearly won Minnesota, or not Iowa, with 32%. Boy, Minnesota going to Biden. That's going to make Turpie mad. 3 points in Wisconsin. That can be still pulled out. Florida's 6%. I don't see any movement there. So there's room for, there's some wiggle room there as far as some of these states that are still in the red as the votes come in, because right now some of these states have relatively low numbers. They shouldn't be calling states until they get like 50 to at least 50% of the votes coming in, to get the numbers up there. So, we got about 23 minutes before the next round of closings, and this will be the big ones. Yep, he should be fired. He couldn't deliver the whole state. Now, there's an interesting situation. I would be curious to find out what address he used to register to vote. Because if he used his address up in Northwest, he's committed voter fraud. Okay, well, the screen just refreshed. What the heck? So, so we're still looking at 100. 131 to 109. Nothing has changed. 71% of the state of Texas is reported with Trump at 4% in the lead. Maine is still at 28.2%. Florida is at 91%, so pretty well calls that one. It would be a felony if he did what I think he did. Let's see, 55, 61, 65, 67, 77. Yeah, that one. 70. Yeah. Well, in the state of Minnesota, I didn't know if it was or not. I know in Florida it's public information because the handler went and found my voter information, found out I was an independent. I registered NPA. I'm not affiliated with any political party. Don't intend to be. So. All right, this is boy, this chair is very uncomfortable. I've only been in this thing an hour and a half, and it's killing my back. So this is the thing we got. Some of these states have only got 22%, and some of that reporting in. Yet they're because Yeah, they got Trump leading in Maine by 6%. And now I'm wondering, there's some of these Senates. Okay, Maine. Because what I'm curious about. Let me go to Senate. Well, that didn't tell me what I wanted to know. Oh, I see now. State results. Let's go back there. Okay, it looks like Collins. Oh. How could she be leading in Maine? Okay, well. Because they're saying Gideon is leading in Maine, but she's only got 30%. She's only got 36% of the vote out of how many reporting? 20%. So I guess that and in the House. Biden 135 to Trump 115. So Biden has picked up 4 and Trump has picked up a little bit. So it's starting to close up a little bit. So, but what's interesting is my county, Orange County, went 61% for Trump or for Biden. Osceola County went 57%. This is a surprise because I always thought these two were, or at least I thought Osceola was a Republican. Palm Beach County went 56 to Biden, 64 to Biden, and Miami-Dade. And what's funny is that Key West, Monroe County, went for Trump. That's funny. When you consider what they do down in Monroe County, for them to go to the right is funny. But that's what happened. Billionaires for Trump, I guess. But that's where we stand right now. Is it's anybody's game because until somebody hits that magic 270, because we're looking at 135 state or 135 electoral points is what Biden needs to win right now. Yeah, I'm not firemen. I think CNN and some of the networks are conservative. I'm going by political, and I think political is. I'm not sure why they are putting these numbers up. So CNN is calling it a lot closer than Politico, and CBS is also calling it closer than Politico. So I think what's happening is Politico is doing a lot of projecting. So that's what I'm saying. This is why I find it kind of frustrating with these different outlets. You're trying to figure out who to believe when it comes to counting the electorals because they all have different ways that they come about their numbers. And it's like Politico wants to call this early, apparently, when they probably should scale back a little bit on the numbers. I think what CNN does is they wanna wait and see if there's a swing towards either candidate, so they're not going to give a higher amount to the candidates because they've got, Politico's got Trump at 115 and Biden at 135. Now that's only a 20 point difference on the electoral, and you've got 95 to 98, so we're talking 3 points according to CNN. So either way you look at it, it's fairly close on the electoral right now. But I'm not sure where Trump could win at this point. Yeah, see, now Fox is going pretty close to what I've got up here, 133 to 115. I've got 135 to 115. So for some reason, Fox is two points under. So that's basically where we're at right now. It's still close, no matter if you use CNN or if you use Fox, and Politico. That there's still a close margin in there. I think what's happening is somebody is basically projecting a little bit more higher numbers, but they're keeping the results close because depending on because on the political map, I'm seeing a lot of stripes, which means they haven't called yet. Texas has not been called. Florida has not been called. Georgia has not been called. And North Carolina has not been called, according to Politico, even though they've got Trump ahead. And the same with Utah. Utah, they haven't called, even though they got Trump ahead. So in all the states that they've got Trump ahead, they have not called. With the stripe states, as I call them. And so, and I think CNN looks like they're holding back a little bit more on calling some of these states, and Fox News is calling states pretty close to what Politico is doing, although they seem to be holding back a couple from Biden. There's a state there with 2 electoral points or something that they're holding back on. So this is, this is like, the usual guessing game that goes along with these pundits. And it's a number 100 times, so I'll be back. Calling him for Illinois. Yeah, it looks like it looks like CNN is not calling a lot of races that other people are calling, because they called Illinois, but others they have said they're too early to call. Um, so it's, you don't, they have different standards. Now we are 10 minutes away from a big bunch of closings. This is where things are really going to heat up, because California is going to go to Biden. That's a certainty. And let's see, what do they haven't said anything about what Nevada's going to do yet. So, but Texas is at 73%, so that's probably going to go to Biden, or I mean to Trump. Same with Florida. Florida's given. It's all over, because they're still stuck at 91%. 40% of the count in Pennsylvania, so that could go either way. Although we're 8-point difference, so Trump or Biden could pull it off, but 41%. Ohio, they 88%. That's probably going to go to Trump. Michigan at 40%, that could go either way, although we got 55 to 43. Trump's well ahead in Michigan, and the thing just refreshed again. 135 to 115 is still holding, according to Politico, and Texas is at 73%, reporting. Maine is at 34%. There's a 6-point difference, so that's a surprise. That may go to Trump. Pennsylvania's at 42%. That's a 12-point lead for Trump, so he may pick that up. 945, 422. 12%, yeah. Trump may pick up Pennsylvania. So, everybody thought that Biden might have pulled off Pennsylvania, but it looks like he's not going to do it. It's going to go to Trump. So that's got to be a big disappointment for the Democrats. Let's see, Minnesota is still Biden basically is taking, Minnesota's, they might as well call that for Biden. He's so far out ahead. They got 47% of the vote in, with 58 to 39%. I don't see how he'd pull out Minnesota. I mean, anything's possible, but I don't see it. Hi, Pheasant Donut. Yeah, Tim. He didn't deliver for Trumpet. So, bad boy, what you gonna do? Georgia, how much is Georgia? Georgia's at 62%. Well, we can pretty well guarantee. Yeah, I think Trump got Georgia. So Trump got the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, basically all across the South. Texas is likely going to be in his corner. Yeah, it's so. What's going to happen is the West Coast is going to go to Biden by the looks of it. He's going to pick up California. He's going to pick up the other liberal states. So he's probably going to win it because of the West Coast. Maybe he'll probably pick up Hawaii. Alaska's a question mark. So that's what I'm going to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see what happens at 11 o'clock because California is the important state. Uh, I say they got California going to. California will go. Well, actually, Nevada. See if Nevada and California go to Biden, and then Washington. He needs 3 states now: California, Nevada, and Washington. So that's what I'm going to be curious to see what happens. California is going to be a big hit. He gets California. Um, And I can't remember how many of these states. Now, there are states that split their electors, and I can't think of which ones they are. Um, but, um, you have states that are winner take all states, and you have states, uh, see, Arizona. Okay, according to Politico, Arizona is 53% to 45%. Yeah, I think that's going to go to Biden. Um, because it's a pretty good margin. You get more than 5% between the two candidates, the one leading is probably going to get it. And of course it depends a lot on demographics. If Biden picks up the suburbs and the big cities, then Trump has to catch up on the outside areas. He had an advantage in Florida because we're more evenly divided in Florida than we are in most other states. We have a lot more people that live in the low population counties than we do in the majors, and that's what got it for Trump. So that's where we're at there. So, and what's interesting is some of the resolutions. Now, Florida has raised their minimum wage. I don't know what the other states have done on their various resolutions. I think it's Washington. Washington wants to go for the hard drugs, um, decriminalization of the hard drugs, which is, you know, it's either Washington or Oregon. One of those 2 states wants to really decriminalize their laws. Um, and I think, what they should do in these states, they should concentrate on the people that sell and distribute the drugs and not criminalize the users because the users are just, they have addictive personalities and they shouldn't be punished for the actions of others. And if anything, sentence them to detox and rehabilitation, and put the burden of incarceration on the drug dealers and manufacturers, distributors, and the dealers themselves. Because that's where the damage is being done. You cut the money off, and you cut the head of the snake off. It's basically what you do. Because that's what they do with prohibition. They punished the makers of the alcohol more than they punished the drinkers of the alcohol. That didn't. Of course, they learned from prohibition that didn't work, and so you got the repeal of the Halstead Act. Yeah. Let's This is going to be a mess. I was hoping that, my bias is I hope they were going to flip the Senate. It may not be. Okay, we are 1 minute from the big moment. Now we're going to find out what's going on here. We're going to see a big change in the demographic now. Okay, Idaho's coming in. Uh, and let's see what we're doing here. There, it's toss up towards Republican. Okay, Montana is.
California, Biden.
Well, yeah, that's expected. Um, Idaho is going in the direction of Trump at the moment by a close margin. That's too early to call. Montana is too close to call. So California is going to be an automatic win for Biden. That's
Washington and Oregon.
Well, if that's the case, then Biden just won it. If those three states go to Biden, he's won the election. So that's what we got to watch. And okay, Politico has got California at 0%, Oregon at 0%, and Washington at 0%. All three states projected to go to Biden. Nevada has not come in yet. So if these states go, we are at 209 to 119. So Biden is closing in right now. So this may be over quite shortly. Because what's okay, we're having a change. Nope, nothing's changed yet. We're still at 209 to 119 according to Politico. Arizona is still, it's trending Biden. Let's see what we're getting in numbers. Yeah, 73% of the votes coming in, so Arizona's going to go to Biden. Nevada's not reporting yet. So we got to wait on that. Well, the next important step is going to be the Senate. We may, yeah, but that crazy lady in Georgia, she's not going to have much impact because it's the majority party's the one that chooses who goes on the committee. So she's basically just going to be a loudmouth for a couple of years, and finally she's going to find herself out on the curb. That's just. But yeah, we're going in the direction of Trump in Montana. He's won Idaho, which I expected. He's probably going to win Texas. He's won Florida, even though they haven't called it yet. They're still calling it a toss-up with 97%, but I think that he's got Florida. And Pennsylvania at 45%. That could go either way, although I think he's got Pennsylvania. Well, yeah, he's ahead in Arizona by a wide margin, and they've elected a Democrat to the Senate there. So that's turned blue. Well, right now, he's jumped up to 209. Biden's jumped up to 209. Nevada hasn't come in yet. I don't know how many electorals they've got in Nevada. And the only thing that would bring Biden up is when these, if he was able to flip some of these close-knit states. But this has got to move in order for somebody to win this. Because, because there's Hawaii and Alaska that aren't going to come in until much later tonight. And as is always the case with these things, I don't know what they've done with the write-in votes or the provisional votes or any of this other stuff, to see if that might pull off. And, they have not called Maine yet. Now, Maine is 48. All right, we're going to dead heat in Maine at 42.5%. So there's a very close, and Maine is an extremely close margin, 48.9 to 48.3. So there's 0.6%. And yeah, I would think the same thing, Peasant. I think Alaska's going to go to Trump, and Hawaii will go to Biden. But they're not, Biden's got to pick up 61 points somewhere. So they've got to, it looks like he's got Minnesota and Iowa. If Minnesota and Iowa get finalized, 57%. See, I don't know with the 209 if they count these states that haven't been called yet, because they've still got Minnesota and Iowa as toss-ups. Minnesota's at 50% of the votes turned in. Iowa is at 61% votes turned in, with a 7-point margin to Biden. Maine is just turned blue. Maine is right now, Biden is in the lead by 2 points with 41%. So Maine is going over to Biden right now, in favor of Biden. So he's picked up Maine for the time being. It's, political's got it in the stripy stripes. So, but well, Collins right now, they're projecting that she's going to lose, but the numbers that have been coming in. Let me get over to the states, the Senate. All right, let me go down to let me see what they're saying about Maine. Why did it do that? State results. Maine. Okay, let's demographically, the reason that Biden's winning in Maine is he's gotten the suburbs, and Trump got the outliers, and that there isn't much room for. Okay, Senate, state results, Maine. Why am I still getting, this thing is, state results, Senate, state results, Maine. This is not giving me what I want for Maine. So I had it once, and now I'm not getting it again. Senate. Okay, they're saying that Sarah Gideon leads in Maine, but they've got her 34 to 39, so that still doesn't make any sense to me. But I think what it is they've only got Portland reporting in so far. They don't have Bangor and Penobscot County yet. So I'm not understanding. 34%, that's why. But they're projecting that Sarah Gideon is going to win Maine, which would be a Democratic pickup. They have not declared a winner in Maine for um, Senate yet. At least political hasn't. Uh, and as of 10:10, we are stuck at 209 to 119 on Politico. See, I'm not sure where the analysts come up with having somebody ahead with that kind of a margin, but they must have something there. But right now, 45% of the precincts are in, and Biden is ahead by 51.6 to 45. So that's 6 points even that he's ahead. So there is room for movement, but he's probably going to keep Maine. That was an early projection for him anyway. He's definitely got Arizona. Nevada's got 6 electoral points. They have not come in yet at all. So that would be 215. So 215 plus 2, let's see, 215, 7, 222, 225, 235. Yeah. It looks like, if Biden picks up all these blue states, he's won the presidency. Is what it's looking like right now. Because it's going to put him over the top. California is coming in at, well, now all of a sudden I'm not getting the electoral the stats, but if he gets the West Coast, he's got it. Trump is at 119 to 209, so 20 points. 20 to 10, 20. Yeah, that's 20 points. Well, I don't know. I'm way off on that. Yeah, Biden is still ahead by a pretty fair margin. Trump's got a lot of catching up to do. I wouldn't be warming up the fat lady just quite yet. We still got to get the numbers in for California. Yeah, Biden is at 77.3% in California. So Trump's lost California. Biden is at 64% in Oregon. Trump has lost Oregon. Biden is at 34% to 64%. So Washington is at 1%. That's right now. Trump has a commanding lead in Washington with 1% of the vote. So that's gonna change real quick. So. Okay, it's changed again. Biden has gone to 131, Trump to 93. So something happened. Trump jumped or dropped a bunch. What happened to Iowa? Okay, Iowa went to not reporting at all. What the hell happened here? Oh, all right. We're having software problems. It's jumped back up again. All right, we're 209 to 119. We're back to where we were. I don't know what the hell happened. Well, that plan isn't going to mean anything no matter who wins. That's fiction to begin with. Uh, but all indications right now is that Biden is going to win. We got to get at these. Um, they've got to call Texas. That should go in Trump's corner. Florida's in Trump corner. Georgia's in Trump corner. North Carolina and South Carolina are in Trump's corner. Pennsylvania, that's probably in Trump's corner. Maine is going to tilt to Biden. So they, eventually, I think they're going to start calling these states here pretty soon. Yeah, the Associated Press. Associated Press is very neutral in their reporting. They're very, it's not a specific. It's more or less an association. I've always trusted the Associated Press. Political is supposed to be about as neutral, as well. No, I'm not drunk. I don't drink. It's, this is, I'm not a professional analyst. I go on opinion here. Those people are going to disagree with what I say. But I've got 209 to 119 staring me in the face right now. And unless all these states have the stripy stripes in them suddenly turn in one direction, the numbers are not going to change. Trump is leading in these states. He's leading in Texas, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and so on and so forth. But they haven't called the numbers yet. And this is what they've got to do. But they're saying, this is what I don't know what Politico is basing the 119 on. Is they basing it on the numbers that he's won, or are they basing it on the numbers that are projected to win? And it's the same with Biden. Are they going by the numbers that he's projected to win, or are they going by the numbers that... Well, I don't know if it's fake news or not. We'll know eventually who won. And we'll know if who got it wrong. Because it doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't matter what CNN says, or ABC, CBS, Politico, Associated Press. It matters to the officials that are counting the votes. They are the ones that make the decision. And they are the ones that will come out and say, okay, this guy won or this guy won. Period. So... reward for what? that fake news about Hunter Biden's a joke. It's just another one of these QAnon things and Russian things that got out of control. And it doesn't matter what Hunter Biden isn't running for president. So it doesn't matter what Hunter Biden did. He's not running for president. And in the end, I don't particularly care who wins. If Trump wins, he wins. If Biden wins, he wins. And then all this shit can stop for another 2 years. But if Biden wins, it's going to weaken the shit out of QAnon. 209 to 119 is where we stand right now, according to Political. Nothing has changed. Nevada's gray. Zero returns from Nevada. Biden has won California. Biden has won Oregon. And Biden has won the state of Washington. So those three have converted over. They just haven't, I don't know. And Biden is winning the state of Arizona. Trump is winning the state of Texas, the state of Georgia, the state of Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Montana. So that's where we stand right now with that. There's no proof of that, Donald. We have a failed mayor who was playing with his meanie in a Borat film that supplied what has been determined to be fake records to Fox News. The intelligence agency has dismissed that whole Biden thing. So, okay, Alaska's 3 electoral votes and Hawaii's 4, so they're not going to matter all that much. Nevada 6 electoral points. So let's see. So okay, well I'm going to put political down. I'm going to see what the Associated Press has to say. Okay, well I don't know. AP is well, I think Rudy's gone senile. Okay, so somebody's projecting that if Biden wins, it's going to be by 290. So we'll see. But right now, all right, this thing just refreshed. Let's see. 209 to 119. It has not changed. So this is going to get stuck. Well, QAnon's good for laughs. The top IT guy for the 8chan or whatever they call it quit. So I think he's seen the writing on the wall. But. Yeah, I think that's what these numbers mean. Is they're calling it. Biden has already got 209, and Trump has already got 200 or 119. They just haven't called officially these other states. Because they might as well call Florida, because they've only got 2% left in Florida to count. So I don't know why they're calling that I don't know why that's. And 50, that should be Trump, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Well, there's a wiggle room. Pennsylvania is still winnable for Biden. They've only got less than half of the vote. It depends on demographics, I suppose. Hmm. Yeah. That's one of these things we may not know until real late tonight who's gonna win this thing. And the problem is I can't stay on very long because I got schedule for tomorrow. So may just have to. Uh, okay, California's got 33% coming in. Where are we at in Montana? Montana, 33%. So Nevada is at 0. Arizona's at 73%. They should be calling this pretty soon. See, I don't know why. Because Florida's at 98%. I don't know what they're waiting on. Trump has clearly won it. Unless somebody thinks there's a way for Biden to pull it off, I don't see him winning Florida. The margin's too wide. Texas probably will be called for Trump as well. So I just. CBS and yeah. See, this is the thing. They got 168 Biden, Trump 111, and then Politico has got them at 209.117. I'm not understanding the difference in these numbers. Uh, it's like people. Well, Marcia, we don't know. um, it depends on who you look to on the media. I'm using Politico for my database, and they've got Biden at 209 and Trump at 217. But CBSN has Biden at 168 and Trump at 111. And with the CBN numbers, CBS network, Trump could pull it off. Yeah, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like we're going to find out tonight because there's too many of these other states that, for whatever reason, have not gotten their tallies in. Because Florida should have been called and it's not. Because Florida's at 98% in favor of Trump by a 6-point lead. I don't see how. See, Florida's at 51.3 to 47.8. I don't see how Biden could pull off anything in Florida. Georgia, they've got him 54% to 44 in favor of Trump. So there's no room there. In North Carolina, no, I doubt it. There's 50 to 48. I don't really see Biden doing anything. The only hope Biden has is in Pennsylvania. Let's see, just Pennsylvania so far. Michigan, he has a chance. Wisconsin, maybe. It's a long shot. Iowa, I don't know. Iowa's not a very populous state. I think he's lost Iowa. Montana, that could go either way. But Arizona, that's Biden's won that. But Nevada's a big question. Nevada's a holdout, but it's not going to change the numbers all that month until they start calling some of these states with the toss-up status. We're not going to know anything. You know, Pennsylvania might take a while. So it's one of these things. You know, I'm gonna shut down at midnight, and probably we're not gonna have any numbers tonight. It could go either way. You know, so when we get up in the morning, we'll know. We'll know something, but it may be a day or two. But you know, but that's the thing about this country. Our elections have always been like this. You know, it takes a long time to get it done, and it's a close deal. So, you know, and then the lawyers are probably going to come out of the woodwork at some point. 209 to 117. It looks to me like Political dropped him a couple points. But don't understand. What time does Nevada close? Do. Huh. Okay, well, we're not going to find anything out about Nevada. Okay, 209 to 117. Huh, interesting. Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, the electoral college really needs to go. That's stupid. Yeah, the only reason we have it is because the little states have a fit. They say, oh, we don't have a voice without it. So it's the little states that want it. I don't know how you get rid of it if it takes a constitutional amendment to get rid of that thing or what. Um, but it should strictly be the popular vote. So, okay. Fulton County, Atlanta has tabulated all the in-person votes and stopped counting mail-in ballots for the evening. Absentee ballots will be counted Wednesday morning. So that means we won't know Georgia until tomorrow. They've called Arizona for Biden, finally. So with Georgia, it looks like we're not going to know until tomorrow. And I got a bad feeling with Georgia, we're looking at lawyers. Someone seems to think we're going to have a tie. That would be interesting. I don't know what you... Yeah, there's a little bit of history being made here tonight. In a lot of ways. But the numbers have not changed anywhere. Okay, they still have Gideon expected to lead with 51% in. I'm not understanding the logic here. Because they got Gideon leading even though she's 10 points behind. That's weird. But, 51% she has a chance to pull ahead. So... Yeah, let me check that real quick. Come on there. Wow, that this thing ever loads. Okay. Prop 207. It passed 60 to 40. So you guys can get high now in Arizona. The measure will look to decriminalize the possession and recreational use of marijuana for anyone over the age of 21 years old. 1,398,000 people voted for the amendment. It's an updated version of Proposition 205. So, high times in Arizona. Another reason to retire to Arizona, I guess. Well, smoke the wacky weed, dude. Okay, now we're 209 to 120. So Trump picked up some electoral votes. You're coloring. Okay. So. So apparently he picked up Idaho. Montana's still a question mark. Maine is still a question mark. Okay, Nevada's coming in. Looks like it's going. Yeah, Trump is going to win Nevada at 77 to 20 with 1% of the vote. Yeah, they got a little bit of time. I wonder if Vegas is going to go to Trump. Maybe they like the way he runs casinos, so they'll vote for him. So, finally got, and let's see, Iowa. Yeah, Trump's 82% of the vote, and it looks like Trump is going to pick up Iowa. So, yeah, I'm going to stick to this thing for about 15 minutes, and then that's going to be it. Because it looks like it's going to at least be overnight to solidify all this and see who wins this thing. I think what's happening here is they're not calling these states to the electoral until they get to where they suddenly go solid. And that's the reason these numbers are where they're at. Yeah, it's 11:45 Eastern right now. 11:44. And I'm gonna hit the bricks here at midnight. Because it's wheels up at 11 in the morning again. Yeah, it just flipped. Because my wall clock and the computer are a minute apart. Because my wall clock is an analog clock, so that's where that comes from. Yeah, you're kind of out in the left coast somewhere. Uh, wow, you're way out in the left. You must be out in Hawaii. Uh, 8:45. Oh, whoops, I didn't want that. No, that's not what I wanted. Eleven, 10, 9. Yeah, alright, I was thinking of something else. I was trying to do the time zones in my head, but yeah, state of Washington, that makes sense. Okay, come on. Okay, now this one's got it on 192 to 114. I don't know who that is. Oh, CNN. Nobody she can seem to. Oh, that's not gonna. Alright, now we're back to where we belong. Ah, now we're back up to 209 to 120 again. Jeez. Ooh. Well, Arizona's going to Biden. Oh, Nevada just went to 0 again. Jeez. Come on, let's get back in the game here. It's a 6 to 41. Ah, there's something screwy going on here.
Virginia went to Biden.
Huh?
Virginia went to Biden.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason this political's behind on what they're doing here. Yeah, I'm not getting a reliable thing here. Okay. Now, CNN has got 192 to 114. They have Biden winning Virginia. So, okay, now we've jumped to 205 to 114. So they're in alignment with political. Let's see what we do here. Okay, 6 minutes to go. Close election may come down to Arizona, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And it decided to refresh. So I'm going to refresh. So okay. I don't know who closes at midnight. I think we pretty well got everybody set. Because Georgia said they're going to stop counting. Arizona's too early to call. 53 to 45. Favor of Biden. Well, this page is all screwed up. It looks like when I sign off, we're going to be at 205 to 114 on most of these. Okay, looks like Roy Cooper, whoever he is won. Indiana went to Trump. If I read the Pennsylvania map right, it looks like a lot of the suburbs have not come in yet. So they're calling Pennsylvania a toss-up, even though. So that's going to be, I'd say by the looks of it, folks, it's going to be at least tomorrow morning before we know for sure, and probably later than that. So that part of it's holding fast. This is going to be one of these things that's not going to be decided tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it now, and I'll do a mobile-thon tomorrow. I may do a brief commentary tomorrow, but not a live stream. And then Friday we'll just have a regular murtathon. But I do have something that I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. It's a rather interesting date coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe. I'd like to try and get some movement on the channel if possible. And I do appreciate you people tuning in. And hopefully we'll find something more interesting to talk about in the days to come. Some of my projects I've been discussing, I've been going to get into here. So, oops, that just knocked me out of the picture. So that's, anyway, like and subscribe. Let's see if we can get the numbers up on these on my channel. And in the meantime, you all have a good night and good morning. This is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.